we've all been spending a lot of time in quarantine now. The entire world pretty much is under lockdown due to the coronavirus. People are dying, people are suffering, and us who are lucky enough to spend time inside, just doing nothing without a problem or a care in the world, we're really lucky. We really, really are. And people are spending time in many ways. They're reading books, they're writing, they're doing home exercise, they're cooking, and others are watching films and TV shows. And in times like this, you can either watch something really, really fun, something uplifting, something that puts you in a wonderful, truly optimistic mood. And if you're like me, you do watch those films, but also you like to watch something a bit more thoughtful, a bit more depressing, and that brings you down completely. And one of the best directors you can watch regarding those things is Ingmar Bergman. And today I wanted to talk about a film that's actually kind of not necessarily topical, but with the theme of self-isolation and people being forced to stay together in a remote location, Persona is just the creme de la creme. You cannot find a movie more perfect than Persona. And I know this is kind of an exaggeration, of course. Everyone can enjoy whatever they want, but I would say that Persona truly is one of the best films ever made. I wouldn't call it my favorite Bergman film, but it's really up there in the top 5 easily. Persona, directed, written by Ingmar Bergman, starring Ullmann and Bibi Andersson, came out in 1966, and ever since then it has influenced a slew of directors. One of the most influential elements of the film is the opening, which is surreal, which breaks down cinema and the director's career in multiple ways. It is disturbing, it harkens back to the surrealist films like Un Chien Andalou by Salvador Dalí and Louis Buñuel. It's disturbing, and it sets up the tone wonderfully well. Even though Persona I don't think is a film you can understand fully at the first time you watch it, and I would even dare say it's a film that you never fully understand. And that's what makes it a classic and an absolute masterpiece of cinema. The fact that you can watch the film in 2020 and think something of it, and then watch it in 5 years and think something else about it. I first saw the film a couple years ago due to History of Cinema, and I was trying, to see this very well-known film, and it blew me away, not necessarily in a positive way in some parts. It was just a lot to take in. It was a very overwhelming watch, quite slow moving, quite unnerving in a way that it really did not grasp fully at the time. But it definitely stuck with me. The images, the wonderful cinematography of the film, all those still shots, close-up, extreme close-ups. It's one of the prettiest black and white films I've seen. And the most fascinating thing about it is that the film not only is impeccably directed by Bergman in terms of the framing, in terms of some of the artistic choices in it, but it would not work nearly as well if it didn't have Bibi Andersson and Ullmann. The way they play off each other, especially considering that one of them talks throughout the entire film and the other is constantly quiet, it's spellbinding. And very seldom we get these kinds of performances in cinema. Whenever someone's like, oh, this is Oscar worthy and blah blah blah, we will forget about some of those performances come 50 years from now. We will never forget the 2 performances in Persona. And they bring a sense of authenticity, a sense of reality, of believability to the picture that I think is unparalleled, especially in the infamous monologue about a beach encounter that Bibi Andersson's character has. That scene, you don't see anything, you don't have a flashback, but the way she talks about it and the way it's written, you can picture it in front of you. It's wonderful. That's terrific cinema. And then how the film seems to be going in one direction but then just changes. It's almost kind of a horror film, it's a psychological thriller, it's just a drama, it's a meta-commentary about cinema, about identity, is it about vampires? The film is dense, and it truly is one of those films that you can make out of it whatever you want, but also I think that, like Bergman himself has said, this is mainly about identity, and that's the best and most straightforward way to look at it, and that's fine. And that's what I like about it, about how we try to hide our true selves, how we are influenced by people around us, how we try to mimic them, how we try to be them. There's so much going on in this film, so much, and it's truly a thing of beauty. It is terrific, it is very short, like 80 minutes long. It is disturbing, it is pleasant, it is cathartic, it is unexpected, it is just a masterpiece, just a true bona fide masterpiece. And I'm kind of tempted to talk about other Bergman films on this channel in the future, especially since now we're in lockdown, quarantine, whatever. I have more time to dedicate to these videos. I know I've been lacking in making them recently. I want to make more complex videos as well, some lists maybe, some recommendations. But yeah, Persona by Bergman, definitely a must-watch if you haven't already. But still, guys, have you watched any Ingmar Bergman film, and which is your favorite? Tell me in the comments below. If you like to watch them, to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.